Wesley and Da Vinci. I wanted to do this video for a while, but I never had the fortitude or the will to get up and actually do it. But I wanted to do a kind of a motivational video for you guys, specifically in music, but you can use this anywhere in life. Last year was a very difficult year for me because that's when when my depression and all that stuff kind of came to surface. I read a lot of books, and one of the books that I was reading was The Wisdom of Life by a philosopher called Arthur Schopenhauer. They say that he's a very pessimistic philosopher, but honestly, it's just a way of viewing life, and there's actually a lot of truth into it. But one of the things that he says that causes suffering for humans is boredom, right? And last year, with the whole depression thing that I was dealing with, and you know, all this stuff just kind of kicked onto each other. Um, my hobby for music kind of waned because I had forgotten why I started in the first place. And that's kind of what I'm trying to encourage you guys to think about right now. It's because if you don't go back to the root of something as to why you started in the first place, or why you wanted to do it in the first place, it can throw you amiss in a lot of things in life. So back in 2003, I want to say, that's when I first started getting introduced to the idea of creating music on a computer. Right? This was in Germany. Shout out to Jeff for, teaching me pretty much everything that I know. But that was the first instance of everything, right? And I had fell in love with it. And I had to recall last year several times why I even started in the first place. And if you're one of those people that just wants to do things because you're looking for some external source of validation, or um, some material or monetary gain from it, then this is not a video for you, because you've already decided that it was that from the beginning. But for the people who fell in love with music because they like the idea of creating something out of thin air, out of scratch, and then putting it out there for the world to hear, this is for you guys. You guys have to remember why you started it in the first place. Because what I recognized was last year, and I can't tell you exactly when it went astray, but at some point it went from a hobby to a business. And even a hobby as a business can turn into a burden, or something that creates a lot of pressure, something that feels like a job. And I didn't want that. I did not want that for myself, because there's two different ideas about suffering, but I know one of the worst ways a human being can suffer is just being bored. And they say that boredom is it says boredom or idle minds are the devil's playground, and that's true. Through so many years, music has always been the thing that you know is mentally stimulating. Last year, when I stopped creating because it was fun or because I enjoyed it, um, it was more business like. And when I did that, I completely lost my way in terms of music, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it at all. So I'm saying that to say, remember why you started in the first place. Right? When you think about a tree, let's think about two different types of plants. We have a tree, then we have weeds. Right? What do those two have in common? Well, they're not the same size. And they don't produce the same type of vegetation or leaves, but they both have roots. Why am I saying this? I'm saying that one is perceived positive, the other one is perceived negatively. Oak trees are perceived positive because there's an allegorical meaning behind the idea of an oak tree. Weeds are seen as negative, but they both have roots. So, in terms of growing the oak tree, you have to get to the root. The oak tree can't grow without its roots. We all know that. And for you to grow from where you are to where you want to be one day, you have to remember why you started in the first place. The same with weeds, which we'll use allegorical for problems. If you're having a problem, you have to get to the root. You know this is true for removing weeds out of your yard or whatever. You can't just pull it by the top where the leaves are. You have to pull it from the root, otherwise it'll keep growing. I say that to say that if you don't address a problem at the root, it will keep coming back up and it will keep reoccurring in your life, right? So in terms of music, you started music because you love to make music. Continue to make music because you love to make music. And if you're running into a problem, then you need to address it at the root. That's what happened with me last year. I realized that the root of why I started in the first place was different. And I realized that the problem was that I was doing music because I was trying to turn it into something else, instead of just a way for me to actually enjoy the process of creating something. I'm not saying that I won't do business, but that's not the primary goal. Not anymore. And I guarantee you, the people who are doing it for material gain or something monetary or something external outside of themselves, which they have zero control over, either you're gonna hear the quality in the music and it's gonna sound like shit, or they're not gonna last very long. I've been making music for 20 years. That's because I enjoy doing it. Ask somebody else to do this for 20 years, they'll probably tell you they couldn't because they wasn't making enough money. And I don't care what you do in life. If you don't love what you're doing, it's gonna show up either in your work or in the effort. That's why now when I hear people's beats, I can usually tell when people are putting something into their art or they're just trying to get something out of it later on. It's not that hard to tell. But I hope that encouraged you guys a little bit. Just remember, do the shit because you love it, man. And don't get caught up in all the foo-foos and all the MFs who want to make you feel differently because you're not after the bag like they are. Who gives a fuck? Okay. And you know what? Pretty much everything in life has a duration or an expiration date, but unconditional love for something never does. So whether this turns into something huge for me or not, who knows? But it's not gonna stop me from making music. But them motherfuckers, the money start rolling in, you already know what time it is. Just sell your shit, give it up. All right, so Stay encouraged. Keep making music. Learn to create from your soul, not from just your mind. It's a whole different experience. You'd be surprised at the stuff that you can lay down when you do it that way. So I know the majority of the beat making or the producer market is majority men, and men are usually logical, but try something different. Try not to be so logical about making music. Just make what you feel. Be surprised. So hope that helped you guys. Again, I'm gonna try to upload more regularly. Um, no promises, but we'll see. And I will catch y'all next time. Till then, keep making music and peace out.